We have the 5th pick on the menu today. We're doing another one of our live mock drafts on FantasyPros, 12-team full PPR. This is Mr. Perp Sports. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for giving us a shot. Let's see what type of team we can make with the 5th pick. Justin Jefferson went first overall. Up next, we have the 2nd pick. Looks like for the 2nd pick, it was Jamar Chase. Nothing too crazy yet. We're going to assume McCaffrey is going to go off the board next. This is the first draft that I've done since the Jonathan Taylor news today. If anyone's not aware, he was not traded and he is going to be on the PUP list, so he will not play the first 4 games of the season at least. Who knows if he will actually play when he gets off of it. Nobody really knows how that situation is going to unfold. We're going to see how that affects the draft. After McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, we're up on the board. We can go between Eckler. Let's go ahead and hide those players. Eckler or Cooper Kupp. Let's go with Cooper Kupp right now. I understand there is the injury concern, but we're going to go with him, see how our team can turn out with our 5th pick being Cooper Kupp. This is all just for research. This is all just to see how it can turn out. If he stays healthy, that would be amazing. But we'll see what goes on with that throughout the rest of the year. Cooper Kupp is a solid start to our draft. Travis Kelce goes next, so there's the first tight end. And then Team 7 is going to be up next here. After Austin Eckler, Stephon Diggs goes with the 8th pick. We're going to be up fairly soon. Who do you think we should start to target here? Let's see. Should we go double wide receiver if one of these guys is available? Or should we go ahead and take a running back if one of these top 3 are available? I like a balanced approach, but I also like to start double wide receiver, especially this year with the quality players that can be had, and especially in a full PPR. But it's looking like we might have a shot at a running back. There's a lot of receivers going in this draft to start off. What would you guys do? Would you pair Kupp with a running back, or would you pair Kupp with a receiver? Or would you maybe draft a quarterback this early, or Mark Andrews if he's available? What would be your preferred method to start these first 2 rounds? After Stephon Diggs, though, just to catch up on the board, I'm on Ross St. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, Saquon Barkley, Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Tony Pollard, and Bijan Robinson. So back to our draft board. The top 3 or the tier 1 running backs, according to FantasyPros, aren't going to be available. They're gone. We could still consider Jacobs. We can still consider Henry. We'll have Mixon, Stevenson, or Jacobs possibly there. So Derrick Henry is gone after Nick Chubb and then Jalen Waddle. So now that we're up, we have our decision to make. Do we go with Josh Jacobs, or do we go with one of these receivers, or do we go with Mark Andrews? I think I'll take a swing here, and we're going to go with maybe a risky build. A couple of injured players to start, but go big or go home. We'll see what happens here. We'll go with Mark Andrews, and we'll hope that our top 2 guys stay healthy, and we'll wish for the best. After we took Mark Andrews, Josh Jacobs goes right after us, and then Chris Olave goes to the team in 3rd. It's going to be our pick again here pretty soon, so we can see who's going to be available at running back possibly. We can look at these receivers. I'm going to probably try to target Lamar Jackson in the 4th. Hopefully he makes it to us, but he hasn't been lately. I think that'd be a great stack. That's my game plan as of right now. But if an elite quarterback falls here, I would always consider it. I've done it a few times in these drafts. It's just a spot that I like to take one if they're still there. But I definitely understand people that still want to take either, the best running back right here or the best receiver right here. I can't fault that at all. We'll see who's available, though, when it becomes our pick. But after Chris Olave went, Devontae Smith came off the board. And then Team 1 is back up here. And they originally took Justin Jefferson. So they go ahead and take T. Higgins. I really like that pairing of Jefferson and Higgins this year. You get the, obviously the one in Minnesota and maybe the best receiver in the league. And then you pair him up with someone who splits the field out there. with Jamar Chase catching footballs from Joe Burrow. T. Higgins is a proven talent. He's a steady talent, and he can get some really big blow-up games sometimes. But after T. Higgins, the same team took Joe Mixon. So they took a Bengal and then another Bengal. Might be a little risky, might not be too risky. I don't know if I would do that. There's probably a better running back that he could have taken there, unless you really like Joe Mixon, and that's totally fine. Draft who you like. Nothing has to be forced. Obviously, you want to make the best decision possible, but you want to draft who you want to watch and who you like. So we're up next. We're running out of time already. We're 20 seconds down. Jalen Hurts is available. Josh Allen is available. One of these running backs is available. I'll take a risk and pass up on one of them. And you know what? Actually, no, I won't. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. I know I just said I wouldn't, possibly, but we're going to take Jalen Hurts. He could finish as the QB1. You know, he's going to get us the points that we need. So there goes the quarterback run right there. So when it comes back around to our turn, we're going to need to look at who's available at running back, because clearly we have not taken one yet. So after Josh Allen went after we took Hurts, DK Metcalf, Calvin Ridley, Najee Harris, and then Jahmyr Gibbs. I would have loved it if Gibbs made it to us on the next pick. He's been going in the third round in most drafts that I've seen, and if he's not going to the third round, he's going very beginning of the fourth. So it is what it is. We're not going to get him. Travis Etienne goes right after Gibbs, and then team 12 or 12th spot team is making their next pick. They went ahead and took Amari Cooper. So they have Barkley, Devontae Adams, Amari Cooper, and there goes Lamar Jackson. So he likely wouldn't have made it to us anyway. If we didn't take Hurts, Hurts would have been taken sometime in this round too. And obviously we can assume Josh Allen would have been taken in the third round too. So there's not a world where I see Lamar Jackson would have made it to us. So that's okay. I'm not too upset about getting Jalen Hurts instead. After Lamar went DJ Moore and then Kenneth Walker. After Kenneth Walker, DeAndre Hopkins, Aaron Jones, Deebo Samuel. We need a running back pretty badly. Do we want to take one of these guys though? How is Miles Sanders hurt? Okay, it's probably just precautionary. So we need to take a running back here in my opinion. None of these receivers I would take right now. Let's go ahead and take... I don't want to take another injured player. I know the first two are. Breece Hall is going to start slow. I know Dameon Pierce is healthy right now. We're going to go with Dameon Pierce here. I'm happy to take him. He is going to be the RB1, which is a little concerning. But with the draft that we've been doing so far, took a little bit of a different approach than I typically take. Wide receiver first, which isn't too crazy, but then we took a tight end, and then we took a quarterback, and then we took a running back. So we have one of each position so far, and it might cause our team to be a little bit different than I would like, but it's okay. It's all practice. It's all getting used to how things are shaking out. We're getting really close to draft time, so ADPs are constantly shifting. News is constantly being announced. Roles are being defined. It's all practice. It's all just getting used to seeing what we can do. After Dameon Pierce, Chris Godwin, Joe Burrow, and then Breece Hall. After Breece Hall, Darren Waller, Alexander Madison, Miles Sanders, Deontay Johnson, and then Terry McLaurin. And we are back up again on the board here. So we need to figure out who we should take. I'm not taking James Conner. I'm not a fan of Rashad White. I'm not going to take J.K. Dobbins. I'll probably take another receiver here. And with our fifth pick, we could bank on upside with Watson or consistency with Lockett. We'll go with Watson. We'll try to get someone who could have really big weeks for us. And I haven't taken him in any of these drafts so far, so I'm curious to see how I like my team with him as one of my wide receivers. Him being the 2 though, little concerning for me again, but Cooper Kupp, if he stays healthy and he produces how we can expect him to, even maybe a little bit less than what we expect him to, he's going to make up for any bad weeks I think Watson might having. They might average out to be okay with him as the number 2. So we still need an RB2. We still need to focus on flex, but Our team so far is Hurts, Pierce, Kupp, Watson, and Mark Andrews. After we took Christian Watson, Jonathan Taylor goes. So there goes JT. There goes JT. We get our first view of where JT is being drafted after the news today of being put on the PUP list and, of course, not being traded. So he's missing the first 4 games. I'm not going to draft Jonathan Taylor myself anywhere before round 8. I don't want to take Jonathan Taylor with all the red flags, with all the concerns. And when he gets back from the 4 weeks, who knows if he even is going to get back on the field. I don't know how that's going to unfold. I really don't want to take the risk. Someone else can hold that bomb. And if it works out for him, that's great. That team is looking pretty nice if it does work out. But the odds are saying that it's not going to work out with Taylor. So someone else can deal with that. After JT, TJ Hawkinson, Tyler Lockett, Trevor Lawrence, James Cook, Justin Fields, James Conner, and then Christian Kirk. After Christian Kirk, J.K. Dobbins, Mike Will made it, Rashad White. After Herbert, Cam Akers, then Javonte Williams. We're up again, 6th round. I think taking Kamara in the 6th round is pretty decent value here. We'd have to find someone to plug in during the suspension, of course. Let's go ahead and take that risk here. I'll take the risk. I was considering David Montgomery, but if Kamara can get back to himself after these suspension games, I like what he provides for our team. So next up, we're going to need to find someone to be a flex and or replace Kamara during his suspension, but we're not going to force anything. We'll see what's available. After Kamara, George Kittle goes, Dallas Goedert, and then Kyle Pitts. A little tight end run right there. We don't have to worry about that. We got Andrews up top early. Don't know if I like taking Andrews that early, but I did it just for the sake of seeing how this turns out. And, you know, it's not bad value there, but I don't know if I really like to do that. But we'll see how this continues to play out here. So after Ayuk, Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift. We're up again here. We have Pacheco still sitting there. Antonio Gibson's there. Dalvin Cook. He may be a decent play. Well, my Breece Hall is ramping up and Kamara suspended, so we'll go ahead and go with that because we can put him in for the time being. And then after us, let's see here. After us, we're gonna have the team that took Kelsey first make their next pick. After we took Cook, George Pickens went, Isaiah Pacheco, and then Hollywood Brown. Looks like a couple of these bastards are on auto pick, so unfortunately that does happen. It's just gonna again make us adjust and draft better, in my opinion, because when they go to auto pick, it's just gonna take the top rated available, which could make us maneuver a little bit more than we would like. But it's a draft, it's a mock draft, I should say. It's all about practice. It's all about maneuvering and seeing what we can get done with what we have in front of us. After Pacheco, like I said, Marquise Brown went, and then Jahan Dotson, and then Jordan Addison. I would love it if JSN made it to us on our next pick. I don't know how likely that's going to be. We can really wish and hope that people are letting him fall because of his wrist injury, but news today is that he was already out practicing again. We'll see how quick his turnaround can be. Let's hope that he makes it to us on our next pick here. After Evan Ingram, Mike Evans, Khalil Herbert, and then Gabe Davis. So we are getting closer to the possibility that it could happen. Let's take a look at our cheat sheets. Let's see who is available at the receiver spot. So Jackson Smith is still right there like we had been thinking. That's who I would definitely take if available with the next pick. I would consider Zay Flowers as well. I would consider Michael Thomas, but I also don't want to consider him now that I have Kamara. I really don't want too much shares of anything going on in New Orleans, but that's just my opinion. Alrighty, so after Gabe Davis, Michael Pittman, Brandon Cooks, Tua, and then Antonio Gibson. So JSN did fall to us. We're going to take that, and we're going to be happy with that. Bam. So it looks like a couple of those auto pick bastards made it. So it's our turn again. So AJ Dillon, Brian Robinson, Cortland Sutton, Samaje Perine, Zach Charbonnet, Jerick McKinnon, Jamal Williams, and then Jalen Warren. Jalen Warren has been creeping up the draft boards little by little. Up next, I'm going to want to take another receiver here just in case, because we have Jackson Smith also We're going to take another rook. No, we're not going to take him because he's already on. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Let's go. Quentin Johnston. That was a close one. We weren't going to take Zay Flowers, though, because we already have Mark Andrews. I really don't want more Baltimore on my team other than Andrews at this point. I would have taken Lamar Jackson, of course, though. I know Fantasy Pros right there just said I may have reached for Quentin Johnston. Don't really care what they have to say, though. I'm okay with that. He's a stash. He's a young upside player that we're going to keep on our team and hope that, you know, he's going to be of service for us at some point this year. After we took Johnson, though, Zay Flowers goes right off the board, and then it's going to be a little bit until it's our turn again. After Zay Flowers, Elijah Moore, Treylon Burks, Sky Moore, David Njoku, Michael Thomas, and then Juju Smith-Schuster. After Juju, Jeff Wilson Jr., Pat Freiermuth, Daniel Jones, Romeo Doubs, and then Jacoby Myers. And then it's going to be our turn again here pretty soon. Taking a look at our squad, we have the 4 receivers, the 3 running backs, our tight end, and our quarterback. Just depth-wise, maybe we can look at another running back here, but I'm not going to force it. We'll see who is there. Depending on the receivers, we could take one. Who do we have? Let's take a look at the cheat sheets. Who just got taken in front of us, though, real quick? Let's see. So Kadarius Toney went right in front of us. So now that we're up, let's take a look at who we have available. Rashad Penny could be an option. He just hurt a lot too. Devon is hurt also. We'll go with Penny though. And I don't love it, but we'll go with Penny right here. I know we do have Hurts on our team, but we'll see how that works out for us. After Penny, Rashad Bateman, Nico Collins, Damian Harris, Raheem Mostert, Alan Lazard, Zay Jones, Elijah Mitchell, and then Devon Achane. And then now we're back up on the board. Could take Tyler Algier again. And I say again because I've taken him in quite a few drafts. He is a great handcuff to Bijan. I'm going to do it again. I'm sorry if that's a broken record, but I'll take Algier there. That's depth that we have. That's depth that I think we can depend on. And like I mentioned, that's Bijan's handcuff. If something happens, bam, Algier's locked and loaded, ready to go, ready to help us out. After we took Algier, Tank Bigsby, Odell Beckham Jr., Tyler Boyd, Adam Thielen, and then Dalton Kincaid. So Team 10, for whatever reason, I shouldn't say for whatever reason. I don't normally do it, but again, they didn't get one of the elite tight ends. They drafted Njoku, and then they drafted Kincaid a few rounds later. So they're throwing a couple darts there. They're seeing if Njoku can stick, and if he doesn't, we got Kincaid, who might be a viable option to start at tight end. After Kincaid, Kenneth Gainwell, Darnell Mooney, Ezekiel Elliott, and then Geno Smith. After Geno, Greg Dulcich goes. So this guy drafted another tight end. That's a little weird at this point now. Marvin Mims Jr., Dalton Schultz, Rondale Moore, Kendre Miller. We're back up again. I'm going to want to take a receiver here just based on the players that we have on our team so far. Who do we have? We could take Jameson. Obviously, that's a long play. Out of the available options, I'm just going to go with Osborne or Mingo. You know, we'll go with Osborne. Maybe Mingo will be available on our next pick here. But I want a piece of the Minnesota passing offense. Looks like we're back up again, so we got to go quick. Higbee, Okonkwo, Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers, Devin Singletary, Cole Kmet, Jameson Williams, and Rashawn Johnson. And then we're back again. Who do we take? What are we going to do? We'll take Tajay Spears. Get a rook. Just in case anything happens to Derrick Henry, we'll have him locked and loaded. And then lastly, we'll address our kicker and defense. After we took Spears, Chuba Hubbard, Isaiah Hodgins, Deonta Foreman, and then Justin Tucker. So spicy nugs. Team 9 took Tucker, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and then we're going to be up here soon. Gerald Everett. After Michael Gallup, we have DJ Chark go off the board. Patriots defense, 49ers defense, Saints defense, and then Cowboys defense. And then right after Cowboys defense, we see the Eagles defense go. Buffalo Bills defense. Now it is our turn. Let's see what we have. We could go Ravens defense, Jets defense. We could take one of the better kickers here. I think I will go ahead and take Bass right here. We'll go ahead and rock with Bass. And then the next go around, obviously we are going to take our defense. It's our turn again. Just to catch up, what happened? Jets defense, Butker, McPherson, Ravens defense, Carlson, Broncos defense, Chiefs defense, Young Hoku. Defense time for us now. I've taken the Steelers a few times, taken the Dolphins a few times. I don't know if I really want to go with the Bengals. We'll rock with the Steelers again. That'll wrap up our draft. I feel like our team's okay. I'm not in love with it. I don't think it's the worst. We have a couple upside picks, we have a couple steady picks, and we definitely have a couple of risky picks. We're kind of all over the board with this one. Personally, I'm not interested in drafting Cooper Kupp this year, just due to all the concerns and red flags around there, but I did want to do a draft where we pick him in a likely spot, and it can kind of be a barometer of maybe how a team can turn out. Everyone's going to draft a little bit different, but I definitely wanted to see how a team would turn out if we took Kupp first. So wrapping up here, after we took Steelers defense, Sanders the kicker, Myers as a kicker, Elliott as a kicker, of course, Sam Laporta, and then Riley Patterson. So we're down to the very last two picks here. Brian McManus, and then the very last pick, didn't see it. They gave me a C+. Can't really fault that grade too much. But again, I've said a few times in my videos, I don't really care too much how FantasyPros wants to grade my draft. It's cool to see, it's nice, but it's not the end all be all. So that was how the team turned out today. From the 5th spot, we went with Cooper Kupp with our top pick. And then as our next pick, we went Mark Andrews as a tight end. And then with our 3rd pick, just to round out the top 3, we went with Jalen Hurts. So I appreciate everybody watching this video. Please like, please subscribe. We're going to be finishing out our mock draft series here soon. NFL season is rapidly approaching. Everyone have a great rest of your day or night, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace out.